at the national meet. They're absolutely not. We know well in advance of the NC2A meet, whether it's a regional meet or the national championships, who's going to compete. So the comparisons are not similar. All this is about is trying to get two young guys into a meet to compete in follow their dream. USA Track and Field are taking away their opportunity to compete. They know that they have confirmed scratches. I was there when agents scratched their athletes. I know one professional athlete that scratched because I asked him if he would do it. They have 6 confirmed scratches right now. They told me that they have none. Someone in track and field knew, in track and field, USA Track and Field is just not doing their job. It's that simple.
Coach, I mean, from the original perspective, have you guys ever been given any reasoning, any transparency? Has there been any feedback? Have you reached out and been given a clear-cut answer from the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a whole series of text messages that I received from Ed Gorman. He said that the USA Track and Field originally said they were going to take 16. They bumped it up to 18. That policy is not written anywhere. We haven't seen that. If you look at the entry procedure, it doesn't say any number that they're going to accept into the meet. The other reason, and they said that the athletes don't want a first round, that they want a straight final. Give us a number, let us know exactly, as Maverick said, you tell us exactly how many people you're going to take into the meet, show us the list, and then if we don't make the list, we're out. It's that simple. So their reasoning is that they don't have scratches right now. We know that they do have scratches.
At this moment, both of you guys are ready to run today. If they came up to you 5 minutes from now and said you're going to run, what would you do?
I'd go put my running clothes on right now and be able to go out there and give it my best and give it my best effort.
Same for you, Joe?
Oh yeah, I did my pre-meet this morning, so.
So you guys were forced to, I mean, even coming here, taking the travel, spending the money to travel here in the first place, you still had no concrete, you're going to run or you're going to not. You just came here on a whim, hoping.
Yeah, basically came down here. It was like, earlier in the week I wasn't accepted right away, and I figured, okay, well, maybe later on in the week they'll let me in. Kept getting later in the week, not happening. Then Mick, steps in and get involved, and starts talking to people at USATF. Still no process, no answer, no concrete answer, and then here we are now, and it's like we're still not given what we want, and we've lost an opportunity to go out there and try to prove ourselves again.
Coach Byrne, the people inside the track world are used to such machinations because there's so many bizarre things that happen. But what would this be analogous to? Like some team in the NCAA men's basketball tournament, would people understand going to a first round site and not knowing if they're in the tournament or not? Would that be fair?
Absolutely. We started out this at the beginning of the year. We go to meets, we try to get standards, and there's no precedent for this. Last year at the Olympic trials, look at the number of athletes they took. I think it was 24, 26. The previous year, Maverick got in. I'm not sure what you were ranked.
I ran 13:36. I can't remember what I was ranked though.
Someone needs to take control of the meet, tell us exactly what we have to do, so we know on January 1st exactly the number they're taking into the meet, what standards we have to hit, and then let's go for it.
Almost sounds like maybe USATF needs some kind of like athlete liaison for the meet management as sort of an ombudsman or advocate, saying, okay, you say we're doing this, but this is bad. We can't do this. I don't know if there is such a position.
I don't see anybody meeting with these guys.
That's what I mean.
Right now, there's no one sitting down with these guys to hear their story, to hear how passionate they are about competing today. It's wrong on all levels.
It's like with the NCAA system, a perfect example is, the indoor system. Right away the top 16 guys are going, so you're trying to get in the top 16 and try to get in one of those spots. Everybody's fighting for one. You have the last chance meets and people, pop in at the last second, and that's just, but right away you have to be in the top 16, and that's part of the sport, and we understand that, but this is a different situation because we don't know, like you let the A standard, okay, and then you fill it in, but they're not holding up to that, and it's bad for the sport, and it's going to be bad, out there, 11 people in a 5K or 12 people in a 5K. That's going to be ridiculous, especially with as many good runners as we have.
The kind of false hope. It would have been easier if they just said you can't run at the start of the week, right? It seems like if they just had a clear-cut rule.
If someone would have just said, "Hey, you're not in the race," or "You're in the race," that would have been much easier for us. We wouldn't, like last night I lost sleep over this. I couldn't sleep at all, and I normally don't have that problem before races because it's like, hey. I know I'm in the race and everything's fine. The USATF they're not working with us.
They need to explicitly state whether they're going to fill scratches in.
is what they need to do, and it's not written anywhere.
Coach, how convoluted or straightforward has the process been to try to petition athletes into the meet? How has that communication been?
Right now it's been via email and it's been via text. I could show you my text record.
So there's no real procedure for petition?
I sent Ed Gorman a text message, sent USA Track and Field an email on Wednesday night. It was just a generic email. I also sent it to Jim Eustace, who passed it on to Duffy Mahoney and Ed Gorman. I got a reply to say that no one was being added. They've no scratches. I have a record of it.
And Mick, you didn't know initially that Ed was the guy. You thought it was Duffy. You were dealing with
Well, I
Duffy.
had a conversation with Ed.
Here, huh?
Absolutely, I had a conversation with Ed Gorman on Wednesday night. He kept referencing USA Track and Field as they. And I find out 10 hours later that it's actually they was Ed Gorman. Excuse me, Ed Gorman was the one making the decisions. I mean, he couldn't look me in the eye and just go, hey, Mick, I'm the guy in charge. I take full responsibility. So who's steering the ship?
So he gave
It's the guy that I know back from New York. He couldn't look me straight in the eye on Wednesday night and say, hey, I'm the guy that's pulling the trigger on this.
But did they give you the impression that if people scratched, more people would be let in?
That was the impression I got.
Yeah, you've been operating on the assumption since Wednesday or Thursday that Mav would get in, Joe, whoever would get in.
It's not just me. That's the impression everybody got. You know,